Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of my bill, H.R. 3992, the Protecting Older Job Applicants Act of 2021. I want to start by thanking my Republican co-lead on this bill, the Dean of the House, Congressman Don Young of Alaska. I also want to thank Chairman Bobby Scott, my Democratic co-lead, for his tireless leadership to protect all workers, but especially older workers and older job seekers. Mr. Speaker, this bill will fix a loophole in current law that fails to protect older job applicants during the hiring process. Despite what many people assume, older job applicants are not protected under the current Age Discrimination in Employment Act protections, commonly called ADEA. My bill seeks to fix this. This bill would allow older job applicants to bring claims for disparate impact hiring against employers. While that may sound like legal technicalities and legal mumbo-jumbo to some people, watching back home, Mr. Speaker, disparate impact claims are very, very important. They're important because some hiring practices might seem age neutral on their face, but they actually impact job applicants that are older disproportionately. The bill would clarify the Age Discrimination in Employment Act to give job applicants the right to bring these claims forward. 3/4 of workers age 45 and older blame age discrimination for their lack of confidence in finding a new job. But it's not just simple statistics. It's about real people and real stories. It's like one of my neighbors, an engineer who can't find meaningful work after losing his job. He's about 60, but he's always told he's too experienced and overqualified. But he says it's all about his age. It's about Rebecca in California, who's age 75, forced to provide her birth date on a web-based job application where the year of her birth isn't even an option on a drop-down menu for the birth year. So she can't even apply because the options don't include her age of her year. It's like Carolyn in Tennessee, age 52. She was let go from her job in March last year. She has filed 65 job applications, but gotten 0 interviews. Nada, 0. She has a BS in business finance and MA in educational administration. She says that people half her age are getting those jobs instead. She was told she needed more recent, relevant experience. And Mr. Speaker, I have an article sharing Carolyn's story entitled Older Job Seekers Find Experience, Education May Not Be Enough in Pandemic that I would like to submit for the record.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Another story, Diana, age 53. Diana was forced to take early retirement after her company downsized. She wasn't ready to quit working, but she hasn't found a job. The loaded question in the application, she says, is always, quote, when did you graduate from high school? When did you graduate from high school? This question tells her age, and because of that, she's gotten no interviews. These folks are not alone. I want to read some comments from other job seekers in their 50s about their experience job hunting. Quote, no jobs for older people. Jobs for seniors 60 plus who still want to work are not so plentiful in rural communities. Another one, age discrimination is alive and well in the job market. Another one, no one hires old people. Another one, I'm 63 with no job, still trying to find work. With that, Mr. Speaker, I would also like to submit an article for the record entitled, quote, I'm not dead, inside the struggle of finding work after 50 in North Texas.
Without objection.
Mr. Speaker, this bill will help people trying to recover from this pandemic, including people who lost their job in the middle of their career and now fear they will never work again because of discriminatory hiring practices. This is not about trial lawyers. It's not anything about what some of my colleague across the aisle has talked about. It's just a simple clarification bill. It clarifies that job protections for older Americans begin at the time of the application. I want to thank the AARP, the National Council on Aging, the Leadership Council of Aging Organizations, the American Federation of Government Employees, and the White House for supporting efforts on this bill. Mr. Speaker, I would like to...
Time is expired.
Can I have about
or-
2 more minutes?
Yes, the gentlelady from Texas has yielded another 2 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to submit for the record the letters of endorsement of this bill by all the groups that I just mentioned, including the White House.
Without objection.
Together we can and will protect older workers during the hiring phase of employment with this bill. Everyone deserves a shot at the American dream, regardless of their age. This is common sense. I urge my colleagues to vote yes on this bipartisan bill, protecting our older workers. With that, I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentlewoman from Texas yields back. The gentlewoman from Oregon continues to reserve. The gentleman from Virginia is recognized.